This stock is ELY for those of you that golf. It's Callaway Golf, and this is much more in tune with what I'm looking for. You can see the steady decline in the stock and the persistent selling here recently. Now mind you, there's the January low for the market. The stock bounces a little bit, but even while the market was continuing to rally, look at how steady the selling pressure has been here. And it recently broke through that $14 horizontal support level, and look at the stock pick up momentum. The 1 month chart is very bearish, as you might expect. And the 1 week chart, this stock can't find a bid. The sellers are very persistent. So this is a good candidate, but again, I'm not real excited about $12.50 stocks from a shorting perspective. So chances are I'll continue to look elsewhere. This is Parfums. You can see the steady decline in the stock through the course of last year. Even when the market was doing very well, the stock was in a downtrend. After the capitulation low, however, it really took off, and it was able to make it back up to the 52-week high. So I don't like to see this type of strength. It is rolling over, and there may be a play, but this is not well suited for my particular personality, so I'm going to take a pass on this particular stock. Here's another nice candidate. You can see how the stock is in a steady downtrend. Has a big fall here from May of last year through August, and then the stock flatlines and then continues that downtrend. But the momentum has slowed down. Here we see that the stock is testing horizontal support at $15. Take a look at the 1 month chart. You can see how it's starting to fall apart. And on a 1 week basis, that is very weak. Even if we go back to Monday, you can see that a day that was up for the overall market, this stock was already starting to weaken. This is OMG. We can see that the stock had a very weak period, and then the rest of the year it just kind of chopped around. Now, however, we are getting a steep move down, again, mind you, while the market was still strong, and it looks like it's going to be taking out this $40 horizontal support level. So we'll take a quick look at the weekly chart, and very persistent selling. So there's probably a good trade in here, especially if it breaks down below that $40 level. The selling pressure could accelerate, but in general, I'm not real crazy about this stock. I'd rather see a downtrend as opposed to this, which is range bound. Here we have CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill. It's been a very hot stock, a favorite of the street, if you will. Very strong rally from $80 all the way up to $150 in December, and then the wheels came off. Stock was in a very steady, very steep decline. It fell down to this capitulation low along with the market in March. When the market rallied in March, the stock took off, but look, the market continued to move higher. This stock continued to move lower. Every time they tried to rally it, it got smacked back down. Tried to rally, smacked back down. It's making a series of lower highs. It's taken out this horizontal support level with relative ease. This stock looks like it'll be challenging the $80 level. Take a look at the 1 month chart. Very steady decline, even though the market's been very strong. So this stock has a lot of relative weakness. And on a 1 week basis, look what happened on Monday. When the market rallied, this stock was heading south. When the market reversed on Monday, as I'd mentioned earlier, this stock absolutely fell apart. So the market's been down for most of the rest of the week, and it is continuing to push lower. So this is a very interesting candidate. Here we have symbol AVTR. Another interesting stock. We've got a very steep, very steady decline here. We can see that there's a lot of downward momentum. Stock basically catches a bid, tries to rally off of that bid, and as it runs up with the overall market, it peaks out early and recently it's been heading lower and lower and lower, even though the market has found support. We also see that at $35 here, this horizontal support level has just been broken. So we'll zoom in and take a look at a 1-month chart. Very steep decline here. And on a 1-week chart, we can see how the stock is continuing to drift lower and lower and lower. So this looks like a very nice short as well. I've got a few nice stocks to pick from this week, and AVTR looked very promising, but it's a little light on liquidity. So I'm going to go with Chipotle, symbol CMG. I love the sell-off here, the deep decline, the shallow bounce. After that shallow bounce, every subsequent bounce was even shallower before sellers came in. We've just broken a horizontal support level, and on a 1-week basis we can see how the selling is starting to accelerate. So this is my chart of the week. I'll also say that I believe restaurant stocks are going to hit some very tough times right now. Food costs are going up, labor costs are going up, the economy is starting to weaken, and consumers are cutting back on their restaurant visits. Also, higher gasoline prices is stripping consumers of their discretionary spending. So I believe the restaurants will have a very tough time. That's why we're seeing this type of chart, and I could see this stock continuing lower. It is weak relative to the overall market. It has some very good premiums, so it sets up very nicely for an out of the money call credit spread, which is exactly what I was looking for. Mind you, this is a starting point. There would be additional research required before I would do any kind of trade, but this looks very promising, and that's what makes it my chart of the week. Good luck trading.